Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion. Please abiding by Afterbirth plus greedier runs. Don't pay attention to that win streak. You might have a headcanon theory. Maybe NL tried to record an episode of Greed Mode with the Forgotten, died many times in a row, and then deleted it because 4 deaths amounted to 12 minutes and I had to leave. You are indeed highly incorrect in your assumption of how those events played out. I died 5 times in 12 minutes. And then I had to go to class. A likely story. Yo, thank you for the keys. It is a big run. I love Lump of Coal, potentially as well. But it is a big run. And the reason it's a big run is abundantly clear, I hope. There's a theoretical, or perhaps even beyond theoretical, I don't want to say guaranteed, but a high probability, shall we say, that if we win, and it's a big if, apparently, based on the video that does not exist, it's a big if, but if we win against Ultra Greed, Super Greed, whatever kind of variant of greed this greed would like to be, I'm not here to tell him how to live his life, we'll hit 999 cents. Probably the single biggest grind of any new save file is getting to 999 cents. We know we're going to get there eventually because we have to beat the entire, roster through greed mode anyway. However, we're in charge territory now. Little nervous? Little nervies? Please, I know you're spawning in 1 second, but if you could just hold off, thank you. This is actually going pretty well to start with. I don't know how much damage Lump of Coal is helping us with here. Anyway, I haven't finished my train of thought yet. It's early in the morning. 1:03 p.m. Pacific time. We're not gonna do anything else here yet. I would like to buy synth oil. So, in a way, it's, I wouldn't say bittersweet. It's actually just sweet. But if we hit 999 cents, we no longer have to... Excuse me, sir. We no longer have to worry about getting 999 cents. We don't have to worry about having any cents when we beat a run in greed mode. Greedier specifically, I guess. Highly worth it, I think. The only thing we have to worry about is actually finishing it with every single character, and then we'll have everything unlocked, which is kind of amazing. I almost just got hit twice in a row by the Widow, which I think is a sign that it's time for you to, maybe just quit playing the Binding of Isaac forever. If you ever get hit twice by the Widow, I'm sorry to tell you, I don't make the rules. We want nothing there. We will head to the next floor. I am a fool, by the way. I forgot we got all these bombs. Is there any tinted rock or perhaps other bomb-based receptacle? With 3 bombs, I'm willing to give this a shot. And I think it actually turned out real nice, but so far this is really good. We're going to have Deal with the Angel chances. I mean, if we get Deal with the Devil chances instead, controversial opinion, probably even better. Because those items tend to be stronger, but so far this run's going pretty nicely. My Little Unicorn, I would describe that as merely okay. Once every 6 rooms, some form of invincibility. It's not truly amazing, but nor is it truly terrible. Now that we have more keys, I will open this golden chest. The golden chest has given me, maybe a key's worth of value. And then we'll put another bomb here. We might be able to buy something right away. We will be able to buy something right away. As Bone Lord, I kind of see some value in being able to roll the Void here. I think we're good to go now. Void, not immediately really gonna... I mean, basically, it's just, as of the present moment, it's a gussied up unicorn stump. We're gonna be behind schedule here, so just slow your roll. You gotta be very cautious. The idea is that eventually Void could be worth much more, especially if we can use it to reroll or absorb, refactor maybe is a better word, bad passive items into half-decent statistical improvements. So I'm not worried too much about the speed at which we're killing these enemies, although we did just make a pretty drastic improvement there, because we are going to have Unicorn Stomp if we want it, and we very nearly lost a Boneheart there. To be honest, I haven't decided if I want to use it yet, because obviously Void is at its strongest when you're not using it to be a palette swap for another 5 out of 10 spacebar item in the game. But if you gotta do it to stay alive, you gotta do it to stay alive, right? Our damage stat is really good, and this is a luxury that, you know, if there were some mythical, now deleted and binned from the recycler video, where I died a lot as the Forgotten, thereby destroying the internal lore that I never lose as the Forgotten, I assure you it would not have been a run of this statistical caliber. I'll tell you that much with a high degree of authority. I will use I don't have any bombs. I will pay 3 cents for this because the Bone Hearts are very valuable, and then I will fight for my right to party. What do we got here? Not even a Ragman, just 3 of Ragman's little minions. Lovely leapers. Ragman's maids. Lovely leapers, Ragman's maids. Anyway, they are dead. A little menacing. This is tough. I'm gonna make a decision later. I think this should block any and all dangerous ephemera by putting that melee right in his face. It's a positive thing for us, but it is still going to take a while here. The thing is, I normally would take, you know, something like the Polaroid. It's not the Polaroid, but you know what I mean, the torn photo. I would take that in a heartbeat, but I don't necessarily think it's very advantageous when we're going to be using melee predominantly. But the more I think about it, the more I'm like, maybe I just am wrong. Like, not might be wrong. I might just have decided that I am indeed incorrect. I'm very sorry, but I can't do anything there. 20 rate of fire with melee is not that spectacular, so I think we will go torn photo. And we got, you know, 25% faster rate of fire, more or less. And we'll head down to the next floor. So far, so good. Now, we're thinking about many different things here. One of them is if I have to, sure. I think I'll probably just take Tractor Beam. And I'll re-roll this into a luck speed. No, just luck and range upgrade. Give me a moment here. I'm just thinking about what we got going on. These are the delicate floors in any greed run. Black Feather has given us a very, very mild damage upgrade. Not Torn Photo, but Tractor Beam. Nice statistical improvement here, dare I suggest. I think we want to leave like this, because we're going to get the stat bonus here anyway. Hold on, let me see if I have an important message. It's a Team Unity message. How's everyone liking Bloppy? That is Dan Giesling asking, how is everybody liking Call of Duty Black Ops 4? I don't have an answer for you yet, Dan. First off, this video is going to come out probably like 4 or 5 days after you ask the question to begin with. Secondarily, that's not your fault, obviously. Secondarily, my Boneheart. Tertiarily, I bought it, but have not played it yet. Because last night, instead of playing it, my wife and I watched episode 1 and 2 of the current season of Hell's Kitchen. And I gotta tell you, I'm thinking this reality TV show phenomenon is really starting to pop off, dude. To cast the colorful characters, what could be greater? Gordon Ramsay calling people donkeys, needlessly destroying slightly subpar entrees that have $75 in, you know, ingredient costs. I love it. Okay, this is where it's all starting to fall apart. I don't think I've played necessarily... I can't move! I don't think I've necessarily played horrendously here. I have to change. I have to... It's happened again. I don't know what to say. I think I need to learn my lesson as the Forgotten. And I need to... Because, I mean, those items were pretty good. I think I need to step on the button. I've been playing... I mean, this is, again, you know, the lampshade, in case it wasn't abundantly clear, which troubles me given the thickness of the sarcasm that was applied. But, in case it's not abundantly clear, there were some botched, Forgotten runs. Literally, I was like, I got 35 minutes before I have to leave for class. I'll just record a Forgotten Greedier run. And then 3 runs in a row went wrong, and I say, it wasn't really out of rage that I deleted them. It was more like, this is a bad episode, and I gotta go. But I thought, hey, with a little bit of more time today, put a more dedicated kind of approach here. But I think I'm learning that as the Forgotten, either I'm out of sync, which is completely plausible and fair. You know, it's hard for the person that's involved with that to diagnose it, right? But either I'm completely out of sync with what the Forgotten needs, or I need to stop having this kind of like hubris about the Forgotten and just recognize that sometimes you're going to need to step on the button. You know, if you want to... Well, if you want to live, really. Who sang that song? I Just Want to Live? My bone heart, though. I just want... Why does my brain tell me that that song was Nick Carter's solo career? Things are going terribly here. So I need to look up 2 things. One is... it was Good Charlotte, wasn't it? I Just Want to Live, Good Charlotte. From 2004. Is the second single from Good Charlotte's 3rd studio album, The Chronicles of Life and Death. Not Nick Carter, it was Goth Nick Carter. My mistake. You know it to be true, don't deny it. I do want to say something in my own defense here, and that's, you know, I could play as basically the Lost, but I think one thing that's, you know, by switching to Soul, I could play as the Lost. One thing, if you're being intellectually honest about, you know, the Soul as a character variant, you have to accept and recognize that being chained to what essentially amounts to an inanimate object in the center of the room actually is a huge inhibitor in your ability to dodge. And the more enemies that appear on the screen, the more likely it is that hitting control once to switch to that character will actually lead to you being guaranteed to take some damage, because you're going to get surrounded by the enemies that will chase you down. So, I don't think we take this yet. I have a plan, but it's a little risky. I do want to take Mr. Dolly, but first I want to use the Soul to subsidize a free Deal with the Devil pickup, assuming it's half decent. Now, in order to do that, we have to live. And we have to live with enough HP as the Forgotten itself. Please jump. Thank you. And then we'll get a Tears upgrade out of it as well, which is well worth it. So that actually went pretty nicely, and I don't know what it is about Deals with the Devil in greedier mode lately, but we've been getting a whole lot of garbage. I know there's no brimstone. I'm not asking for brimstone. I'm not asking for mom's knife. I'm just asking for, you know, respect, I guess, but sometimes it's a little bit too much to ask, apparently. Definitely should have picked that up earlier. How we doing floor 1? I mean, we lost HP. Sure. Absolutely true. We got damage and rate of fire. In the end, I mean, it was not good, but I wouldn't necessarily describe it as, you know, a colossal or troubling first floor. With 2 chests, I will try this. We don't really need Spirit Hearts right now, to be fair, but we'll also try this. How? 2 more bombs, okay. Well, I'm gonna do one more thing that might be seen as a little drastic. I'm gonna blow this up. Hope for... Sure, that's way more than I would have expected, which is very nice. And we We get a key. I just want early item room access, you know, see what we get. Now, jumper cables are worth nothing right now. Could change real quickly. So I think I'm starting to... I think I'm overthinking playing the Forgotten. I think in the end, as much as I make fun of this as, like, the most obvious concern in Isaac, I think if you just hit enemies and don't get hit, you'll be in a great position. Some runs do get more... You know, I mean, I know that's what Isaac comes down to. At the best and the worst of times. But some runs are more precious than that. You know, some runs are like, you know... In order to maximize your ability to not get hit and to kill enemies as quickly as possible in keeping with that, you gotta do some special or, you know, higher order intellectual decision making. In this one, I really think we just walk a few pixels away from the enemy, smack him in the face, and then you're done. Now, all I'll say is that I think... What's going on here? Oh, many of you. Okay. All I'll say is that I think... Speed is actually kind of an underappreciated key to our success here, if we can make it happen. So I definitely do not think we pick up Data Miner. You will not be killed in 13 seconds. You know, having 0.88 speed is not what I'm blaming for any problems befalling us right now or in the past. Did we do it? Okay, here's what you do. But if we could get to like 1 point, I mean, I don't know what the exact speed number would be to make it worthwhile, but if we could get to a much higher level of speed, then we could afford to use melee more easily because we'll be able to kill enemies faster. Speed is almost like our second, maybe our third biggest important stat from a time to kill standpoint with the Forgotten's Bone. Because of the fact, you know, that you have to walk closer to enemies to hit them. I mean, you could throw it, but it's still basically melee. Alright. Doing this again. We're lucky. We have a pretty acceptable amount of raw DPS. Shouldn't have stood there. You know, 7 rate of fire, 5 damage. It's nothing to write home about. Certainly it's not what you'd like to use against Ultra Greed. Or Super Greed, for that matter. But it's good enough. It's good enough to carry us through this floor. And, I mean, Greedier mode is really... It's a lot like a daily, right? I mean, that's... As probably the world's worst Greedier mode player, that's my assessment of it, at least. Greedier mode largely comes down to just waiting for the right moment, finding your seam, and then, you know, committing. Alright, so I'm gonna... Not risk death, but possibly risk some HP fighting this guy. We're definitely gonna take both items. God, you are annoying. There we go. Okay, so we'll start with... I mean, it doesn't really matter, I think. We'll start here. Grab this as well. No, it definitely did matter. We should have taken the pact last. We are up to 26 cents. And we're up to 26 cents. By the way, yes, brain is broken. Why didn't we just do that instead of trying to blow that up? Very strange decision. We don't want any of the other items, mostly because there's no reroll machine. Unfortunately, we have no reroll ability in there, so I'm not going to buy a speed downgrade to try to make one happen. Nor am I going to buy a data miner, which is too dangerous to begin with. Brain's still warming up, apparently. Okay, let's try the free money, free money, free money. Now... 15 cents. The real question here is, do we need 3 keys for the rest of the run? And the answer is yes. So we'll grab that. I don't necessarily want to buy HP for HP's sake, but it might be, if not worthwhile, it might be necessary. I actually think... See, he's obviously not speed down. We want to be this guy for the pill taking. Just in case we were able to get like an HP upgrade. So the question marks are not that bad. Mostly just slightly tedious. See what we get inside of our secret room. 2 spirit arts is a pretty good setup for us. And I think we will take a HP upgrade early on. I really want that speed upgrade. I'm willing to pay 3 cents for a red heart just to give ourselves the best chance possible of preserving our bone heart. Our bone heart. Okay. Now, admittedly, for all the high-minded discourse I've provided, if I may be so bold, a lot of that seems to fall by the wayside when I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'm playing well or if the game requires a quantum leap in my change of thought in the way that I play. Maybe I need a new epiphany to play as the Forgotten. No, maybe you just need to remember things like, you know, having the ability to fly as the soul. That seems like one of those things that would probably be beneficial. It's kind of like the bare minimum level of understanding how to play this character. A little dangerous to be standing so close here, as, you know, Sting sang about in his very famous song, Message in a Bottle. It's not really his song, it's a song by the Police, but you know what I mean. He's the songwriter, if I remember correctly, as well as the lead singer. I'm not trying to besmirch the name of anybody else in the band, I'm just saying. So, the speed upgrade, important. Let's see who we're fighting. No! Literally in my brain, I was like, well, what we'll do is we'll just see who we're fighting, and then if it's an enemy we don't want to be close to, we'll use melee. And then what that translated to in my motor function was walk into the enemy and lose your bone heart immediately. You should not have stood there, but we did make it through the first phase here. You know what would crush this run? Especially with jumper cables? We will win if we're able to get something like... I mean, we do have placenta, don't we? Or was that what we had? No, that was what we had on one of the doomed runs, wasn't it? Yum heart and a lot of HP, or a lot of bone containers, really will win us the run. I know you lose a bone heart permanently when you lose it, but, you know, considering that we also have jumper cables to go along with it, we would be able to preserve the existence of our bone hearts to a higher degree, I think. And I think, like, I've just got to accept, I've been playing kind of badly. We've had some great wins in Greedier, but, you know, on the very, very short-term level, this video has not been a bastion of proper play. So you know what? Slow down, take a deep breath, settle up. With one luck, I will take Gimpy. Keep in mind we have 9 lives. The idea is, you know, this may or may not pay out with more spirit hearts than it cost us, but it's also kind of a passive yum heart in the amount of red hearts that we're going to be able to get from enemies as a result of the oft-overlooked red heart aspect of Gimpy's payout. So, a large rate of fire upgrade that ends up not being very large as a result of the fact that we're already at the cap. But then, a very nice HP upgrade. And well, okay, sure. Never remember really if this comes with other benefits. I think when we lose... Now when we lose bone hearts, we also get like a varicose veins sort of payout. I can't change, which I'm not trying to get into like some broader personal issues, but no, I literally cannot change the soul because of the way that I sacrificed the HP on the last instance there. So I'm kind of waiting. I'd like to get like another, yes, half red heart. Then we step on the button. Okay, and then we've lost the bone heart immediately. And we may... I really don't want to lose a life. I'm trying here, I swear to you. There's a lot of... It's like... I know you're watching at home, you play all those fan-edited Japanese bullet hells. Ah! It's not the same, dude. It's... It's hard. Doesn't that break the... Okay, we need raw liver. But I thought that pacifier broke the tier cap. Apparently mistaken. So we're on wave 1. It's obviously terrible. Genuinely just trying to wipe the enemies out as quickly as possible. You know, you can see my methodology. When I miss, I'm out. I don't want to be in that section of the map anymore. Thank you. I know we're being overrun. The enemies come to me, we one-tap them. I don't want to lose my spirit hearts. I guess if we lose our life, though, we will lose our spirit hearts. That was highly risky. And remains highly risky. Okay, now is our moment to change. Thank you, my otherwise antagonistic friend. Oh, I don't want to be there at all. You know, it's a great metaphor for life, I guess. In order to preserve the spirit hearts we've worked so hard for, we have to risk them. If we just turtled, tried to protect our spirit hearts by using our red-hearted individual, we could lose them all at once. Without even having been able to put them to use. Okay, we got red hearts back. Thank you. Thank you, Jawbone. My word. We've made it. Textbook. And all of that, by the way, was for nothing at all. That was for the right to fight these bosses. But you know what? More than ever. Oh, I thought I was a genius there, but I was just a little bit too slow. Story of my life. Hey, 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 hey. I was gonna say, I wanna be the melee man. I wanna use my melee, baby. We have no bombs, and I am a frightened individual. I saw that spirit heart, though. Okay, let's try it again. This is all falling apart. What it's meant to be will eventually be a memory. What do you got for me? Full health. Useless, but nice to know. Bombs are key. No thank you, sir, even though we might want bombs immediately. Okay, we have raw liver. Do we take it right now? Just in the interest of at least giving myself the chance? A stab at greatness, if you will? He's alive. You're doing okay. You're doing okay. You got one of them dead. You've actually started to piece this together. Now, how are we going to beat Ultra Greed? Oh, we are not even, like, close to having a successful Super Greed fight here. I gotta go back and watch, like, my own videos, which I have to tell you is a great exercise in awkwardness. You know, people sometimes, even to this day, they'll tweet me and be like, what do you think about the sound of your own voice? Because it's a very common thing for people to be self-conscious about it. You know, they, people, when they hear their own voice on tape, they hear it differently in their heads, because, I mean, I hear my own voice differently in my head as well. You're hearing it, like, internally, right? Through the bones in your skull, combined with the feedback through your ears or something. Look, I'm not an audiologist. Oi, oi, oi. Don't buy it yet. You don't need it. But, I mean, the simple answer is you just get over it, right? Not in, like, a, you know, millennials, I can't even listen to the sound of my own. I just mean, like, you get used to it, I guess is a better way to describe it. But you don't ever, like, stop finding it weird. It's the same thing. People, like, people make you feel bad for being bald sometimes. You know, they're like, I'm going bald, you got any advice for me? And you're like, well, when I was a teenager, I started going bald and it looked bad, so I shaved my head. And they go, oh, well, I could never do that, I've got a weird skull. Well, it's okay. You know, how do you know? If you've had, you picture, all babies have weird skulls. I know you feel your head and you go, oh, there's a bump there, there's a bump there. Nah, everybody's got bumps on their head, dude. You get dropped, hit in the head with a baseball, you know, staple gun accident or something like that. The only way to know is, you know, when you try. But it's very weird to go back, because it's not like I'm hearing the sound of my own voice. It's more like, you know, listening to yourself talk for 40 minutes uninterrupted, you just kind of get to the point where you're like, oh, shut up. How do you keep talking for so long? You get a deep glimpse inside your own brain. It's like reading your old diary entries or something like that. Ugh. One of these days, man. So the soul is functional again. I will buy raw liver. Please do not lose these red hearts as quickly as we lost the other ones. If we had played perfectly, we could be at 6 HP pretty easily right now, but... You know, if we'd played perfectly, we wouldn't need 6 HP because we'd never get hit. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. Egghead, that's another spirit heart. Placenta, that's another red heart. At some point, we're going to need... I mean, not need is a strong word. At some point, we would like to not take HP and take damage instead. But that largely hinges on... Whoops, I shouldn't have left like that. But that largely hinges on us being able to, you know, kill enemies without getting hit ourselves. We have actually really, really nice damage. What did I... Oh, they're invisible! Thank you. Jawbone saved me a lot of indignity right there. What's this card? The sun. Pop it immediately. Killed the invisible enemy, I hope? The doppelganger? Yeah, I think so. Yo, and I don't want to say I told us so, but I did. I freaking told us so. We have now that we have red hearts, like containers. I guess they're technically bone hearts, but you know what I mean. Bone hearts are just gussied up red hearts. We now have sustainable HP directly as a result of Gimpy. Now, don't lose the one you got. Look at that. We kept 4 HP going despite getting hit many times. Might occasionally buy some red hearts just to keep it working. I think we'd still go for this. Sprinkler, I hate it. Worth. Preserve the bone heart. 3 seconds. Make some progress. Got him. Who's next? Ah, the adversary, aka older brother. One thing I've never thought of, can the adversary, I mean he's dead, but can the adversary hit you when you're above him? Can he hit you with a laser, I should say? A lot of enemies, you might think that, you know, it's kind of a ridiculous question, but, you know, think about like Monstro 2 or something like that. Think about, I always forget the name of the little adversary that we literally just had on the screen, but he can't shoot above him either. Just want to see what... Okay, so it shoots bones. The sprinkler does not seem... Like this guy, yeah. The sprinkler does not seem incredible to me. But it does seem like a decent spacebar item. Once you consider... Especially the... Oh, Egghead blocked that damage. That's so lucky. Once you consider that it was only 7 cents as well. Oh, it hit my own body and knocked it into me. Hit my body, knocked me on the floor. It took my spirit hard, made me wanna dart. Dart meaning made me wanna leave, you know, not made me wanna have the Canadian parlance for a tobacco cigarette. 15 cents remain. None of these strike me as being worthwhile. Not yet, anyway. And by not yet, I actually don't know what I mean by that, considering we're like 2 floors away from fighting the boss. I would give us a very, I mean, maybe like a 20% chance of victory. But I think there's always a chance you get there, you know? I'd rather not. I didn't realize that's a speed upgrade. No, it wasn't a speed upgrade. It was from me switching. I didn't really want to do this, but, you know, I thought if we had the chance to pick up some free consumables, we might as well go for it. Thank you for bringing Locust of War over to me. I definitely unintentionally forgot that on the other side of the map where I sequestered it far away from a position where it could be troublesome to me, so I really appreciate that. Thank you for bringing it back, Jawbone. Not mad at Jawbone. In hindsight, Jawbone has done a lot of amazing work for us, and I really appreciate its support. However, if it could never do that again, or it's fired, something, no soap radio. Eventually, like, and this, I thought there were only 3 of these guys. Yo, 1v1 me in the shop if you're not a coward. Eventually you just get impatient and you go, you know, I can't fight these guys this slowly any longer. Hey, yeah, if we get it, we get it. If we don't get it, we don't get it. Still think, probably try to give this guy a little bit more support. You know what? 3 cents? I'll go for this. I mean, none of the other items here really appeal to me that much. Yet. Demon Baby is fine. I saw that coming a mile away, and yet was unable to get out of the way. I'm embarrassed to admit that, you know, as of right now, this is like our best Forgotten run that I've done recently. I go on greedier mode. It's also... Well, we did do greed. How long did it take us to do greed with the Forgotten? It was probably like our first run, right? That sounds like me. It's a little bit, you know, braggadocious, but... I mean, I do like playing as the Forgotten. It's just kind of spotty right now. We're taking a lot of Spirit Heart damage. The idea being, thank you, Jawbone. Bring it, bring it, bring it. It brought it. You know, the more Spirit Heart damage we take, as frustrating as it may be, the better off we are at being able to use our much more high damage melee later. Dude, this is a nightmare. I definitely should have gotten out of that one. So that went terribly. We got a lot of sprinklers available right off the bat. Probably way... Oh, it doesn't matter which one we kill last, because they're both going to drop Spirit Hearts. All 3 of them! This is a terrible sign. If you ever notice that greedier mode is hard, you're screwed. Because most of the time you reach this point, you go... You know, you shoot 3 times, and a Polyphemus, Cricket's Body, you know, Jacob's Ladder, Barrage of Tears fills up your screen, forces you to put a photosensitivity warning in front of the video, and, you know, basically just wins it for you outright. We are not in that position right now. We are in a position of being highly afraid. Next time you get hit, hit control. And we're noticing every bit of damage these enemies are putting out here. Thank you. Okay, so here's what I think. I think we just worry about winning and not so much about the money. What do we like in that case? Rerolls for now. A card could be worth a lot. It could be worth nothing, but it's a relatively small investment. And actually, the bomb already allows us to do this. Illuminated bulb is not what we want. We also definitely want to dump the... As much as it pains me, we want to dump the trinket. And, I don't think we care about speed, shot speed this late in the game, so... Keep pushing for something a little bit more advantageous. I get it, you know, range, not worth that much, damage worth a lot. Necessary. And then... Chariot, okay. So, now I have a potential win condition, and this is how serious I am about the win here. We'll actually go to all lengths to get that. Car battery plus sprinkler plus jumper cables theoretically allows us to craft a run in which we have, I don't know, 8 sprinklers on the ground. Keep in mind we're going to be killing like a ton of minions. You know, when he creates keys, don't shoot the keys. I don't know why I thought the greed head would block that. Don't shoot the keys. Shoot the enemies that come as a result of the keys. It's also a great way for us to preserve, you know, some... Thank you. Red hearts that could show up there. So let's start like this. Double sprinkler action. And I hate it, but I do think it's a necessary sort of endeavor for us here. I didn't get hit, oh my word. I think it's a necessary endeavor for us here to, you know, use our ranged attack as much as possible. This is definitely a war of attrition. Very annoyed just thinking about what will happen if we have to, you know, die and then restart with 20 different lives here. It's taken us a long time, by the way, to get to our next sprinkler charge, but that's life. No. No bombs. Keys. The money is not worth very much either. I've pretty much come to the conclusion this one is all about survival and then just, you know, live your life after that point, I guess. Keys. Oh, those are hearts, you fool. It's alright. We're getting closer. Keep in mind we know how to fight Ultra Greed, you know, not to guarantee that he's going to be screwed, but to maximize our chances of killing him. The Chariot card, I think the best way to use that, the way I see it, is to... Oh, thank you, Egghead. Is to use it to preserve a Bone Heart. If we're... Oh, don't shoot the keys. If we're close to losing a Bone Heart, we pop Chariot, pick up red hearts on the ground. We get to keep it alive a little bit longer yet. So we got another sprinkler out there. Kind of in desperation, I placed it very close. But look at that, dude. We picked up another half charge just from one key being used there. So I think we switch back into Bone Heart mode. Now I'm switching my run back into Bone mode. If you want sprinklers, sit back and observe. You gotta let them spawn some keys and destroy the herd. In fact, I actually like... perhaps very mildly controversially think we should not shoot at all. And the longer he lives, you know, he's summoning more enemies all the time. But the more he summons keys, you know, the better off we are to an extreme degree. Now, I want to spread out these sprinklers a little bit. Remember, we place 2 every time we... There we go. Let's put this one up here. Keys, please. Now I'm smacking. You know why I'm smacking? Because I'm impatient. Keys, please. Okay, you were like halfway there. Low key, that's actually like my least favorite payout he can give at all times. Coins that just hurt us, but have to be destroyed. They don't destroy themselves like the bombs do. Keys! Okay, don't shoot them. Don't shoot them. Inevitably, your sprinklers are probably going to end up destroying some, but... Now just stand in the keys. We already got almost to another charge. Not my finest moment. Just one more payout of keys before you're done. You're done. No. Okay. The real stress, to be honest, is the fact that we have to fight this guy using melee. Weirdly enough, this is the exact opposite of your average Ultra Greed run. We should switch to melee when we think we're going to be hit. Because our melee is way more survivable at the present moment. I panicked, and as a result of my panic, I popped a Chariot card, but straight up, I don't think the Chariot card is necessarily worth all that much for us anyway. Acceptable. Annoying, but acceptable. Please, I beg you for another sprinkler play. I know I didn't switch to melee there. How many of these have we destroyed? It's dawning on me now, like Justice dawned in Superman and Batman, the dawn of the aforementioned concept. We are going to win this run, much to my surprise. We're also probably going to win the run whether I shoot any more shots or not. There is one way to lose, and that's to get hit twice as ranged Lord. 3 times as ranged Lord. Once, twice, 3 times as ranged Lord. So the sprinkler jumper cables combo actually got us there. And it's not like, I know you still see that this guy has HP, so you're going, what do you mean it got you there? It's just, it's kind of like a numbers game at this point. Like, sincerely, we look totally set. I'm a little surprised we haven't gotten another sprinkler payout, but life goes on, I suppose. It's pretty exciting. I guess it just goes to show you, you know, no matter how despondent you get on a run, you still got a very good chance, you know, if you keep your head on straight to make it happen. And, it also goes to show that no matter how bad I play at the start of a video, never underestimate my ability to come back and very slightly redeem myself on a run that does nothing else except ticking off the post-it note. Not gonna give us a very good chance at all of getting to 99 cents, but at least we can play as a character with range next time. We've done it, much to my surprise. You know, Dad's ring has appeared in the basement, but also we did get a little bit more money than I expected. 20 cents? What's so funny? Freaking 20 cents. And look at that, 987 cents. So close. For now, thanks for watching. If you guys have enjoyed the episode, if you did click the like button, helps a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching. I will see you next time. Follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Northernlion. Be notified when I go live in the future. But for now, see you next time. See ya.